Hello and welcome to eTalk 21 Sports. My name is Eric. I am the man behind eTalk 21 Sports. With football season starting up, we're going to be getting in the habit of doing twice a week podcasts. Before we dive into the podcast, let me tell everyone about myself. I've been around this game for a while. I grew up in a Michigan town that had a tribal casino and a horse track. At a young age, I started going to those. With the education my father provided about the game and just talking to people in those environments, I was thrust in the sports betting world at a young age. That, along with time and education and being very good at math, I started betting sports more and more. About 7 years ago, I looked at myself in the mirror and I just didn't like what I was doing for a living. I wasn't having fun. I wasn't enjoying myself at all. One of my friends was like, hey, you seem to make a lot of money doing the sports betting thing. Why don't you just do that full time? I laughed it off and just went about my day. About a week later, I was working out on the treadmill and I said to myself, shit, I think my boy's right. That day I went into the office, gave my 2-week notice, quit, haven't looked back. So with all that being said, this is my livelihood. This is how I make money. This is how I provide for myself, my family. I'm not trying to make money selling plays. The fee is very minimal. I'm trying to help you beat the book. The way I look at stuff, it's us players against the sports book. It's not us players against each other, trying to win, trying to one-up person. Oh, I'm way smarter than you. That's not how it should be looked at. It's us against them. I'm here to help you make money. I have packages available daily, weekend, weekly, monthly, and a season-long football package. Along with that, I provide picks in other sports too. So you'll get everything. The ROI itself, it will pay for itself within the first week. Yesterday, we went 1-1 in EPL, 1-1 in tennis, 1-0 in MLB, and our college football player Houston hit. Okay, so let's get to the format. Monday, I will be recording one during the evening, probably during halftime of the Monday Night Football or right after it, where I'll kind of give the week in review, where I was right, where I was wrong, what I learned, and so on, and some initial thoughts from the games. Thursday, again, after the Thursday Night Football game or during halftime, I'll look at ahead. Games I'm looking at, stuff I'm looking at. I will not provide any picks, but kind of some thoughts on some games, what I'm looking forward to, and kind of where my head's at. I also provide fantasy football stuff for free. If you go to my site, eTalk 21 Sports, you'll be able to look at my rankings right now, season-long projections. Then every Wednesday, I will be providing my weekly rankings, where I think people are and whatnot. All right, so let's jump in with what I learned. What I learned is Oklahoma is better than I thought they were. I really liked what I saw from the offensive end with Hurts running the offense, Lincoln Riley being an offensive mind on the defensive end. But I do have to keep in mind that Houston's D-line is awful. First glimpse, overreaction, as everyone does in week one, is I don't think the offense is going to miss a beat. I'm going to have to see Oklahoma play a little stiffer competition before I'm ready to look in them to make a serious run at either Clemson or Alabama. Also, the comeback that Auburn made was great. Don't get me wrong, great storybook. Nick's coming down, leading them to victory, scoring, going up. First lead in the game with 9 seconds left, but let's not mistake anything. He looked bad. He didn't look that great the first part of the game. Oregon's time management, game management, everything by Oregon once they got that lead was awful. I mean, granted, give credit where credit is due for coming back, but I'm not ready to go all in with this Auburn team quite yet. Also, you got to feel for JT Daniels. JT Daniels going down with the ACL. I mean, USC, this is a make-or-break year for that coaching staff, and now they have to rely on a freshman coming in. And I'm not going to lie, I need to watch the game tape. I was traveling on Saturday night. I missed that game. I have it on, I have to check it out, but I mean, this guy was the 692 prospect, 12th player from Arizona, and the 26th pro-style quarterback in the nation. And this guy's your starter now, a freshman starter in the Pac-12. I mean, Helton's going to have an uphill battle. Now, having to rely on a freshman to get some wins to keep his job secure. I'm not going to lie, a rough week for me and my guys in the first week of college betting. I mean, we had Albany money line plus the points. They should have got up to a quick 10-0 lead, but turnovers and a missed field goal. They were inside the 25-yard line 3 times and walk away with 0 points. That was a rough one to swallow. So we lost the money line and points at that. That was just a bad spot for Syracuse. Syracuse wanted no part of that game, and Albany had a chance, just couldn't produce. Also, we had Indiana State plus the 12 and the money line, and oh my God, 9 points off the board, missed field goals, and then they throw a pick in the end zone, and then Kansas returns a pick 6. I mean, we had that money line nailed down. I'm going to be fading Kansas as much as I can to start the season because I'm just not sold on Les Miles and his staff right now. But they did cover. We had James Madison cover too. We had the money line, and then unfortunately it came up short. But, we're locked and loaded. I already got some spots out that I've sent out for week 2, and those numbers are moving. I believe we got the best numbers. We're finishing off the night. We just hit Louisville plus the 11 for the first half, and we also have them for the game, so looking to finish off the week strong and rebounding after hitting Houston last night. All right, let's dive into it. Thursday night, NFL is back, and oh my God, I could not be more excited. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy betting preseason, but with the way I do stuff, I never bet the 4th week of the preseason. I have a simple model I use for the preseason. It's cashes, great ROI, but I like regular football. I want the regular season. I love this stuff. It kicks off this Thursday with the Packers visiting the Bears. Now, let me give you my thoughts on both teams. One, let's be honest, LaFleur, he only got the job because he worked under McVay. Anyone that watched any Tennessee Titans games know that offense was awful. Awful. Now, granted, we don't really know how much LaFleur was given free reins to able to run it as he wanted to, or if he was told by the coach, just ground and pound, we're going to let our defense win, give it to Henry. Because Mariota is just not that good. So we're going to see if LaFleur has actually got something from McVay, and he's going to open up that playbook and put Rodgers in a position to succeed. And also another question is Rodgers going to buy in? Because everyone knows Rodgers isn't the easiest person to work with. Is he going to buy into the system LaFleur has, or is it just going to be exactly what it was last year, him changing the plays and just doing his own thing on the field? Packers defense has improved a lot. They spent a lot of money. They're definitely moving in the right direction on the defensive end. With the Bears, I mean, they kind of came out of nowhere. Great defense, but they lost their defensive coordinator. Is their defense going to be as good as it was last year? And also, everyone's going to have film now on this offense, on Trubisky and everything. I'm not going to lie, I am not high on this Bears team at all. I'm reading all this stuff about them making a Super Bowl run. Their number is 9-1 to win it all. I would not invest anything for the Bears making a Super Bowl run with them losing their defensive coordinator, teams having more film on Trubisky, and then also, don't get me wrong, Montgomery's great. I think he's going to be a great player, but I'm not sold on Nagy. Nagy, every single game, for the first 15 plays, when it was scripted, it was great. But then when the in-game stuff happened, that's when they struggled. That is when the Bears struggled. So it's going to be interesting to see, has Nagy improved on that, or is it going to be the same thing that it was last year? All right, a couple other games I'm looking forward to. Rams traveling cross country, playing the Panthers, 1 p.m. Eastern. Rams laying 3 on the road with the over-under 51. I mean, losing the Super Bowl, Gurley not 100%, Cooper coming back from the knee injury. Panthers, I mean, defense is getting older. Has Cam learned to throw the ball and not take so much of a beating? I'm very high on McCaffrey this year in terms of fantasy. Really looking forward to that game to see what I get from both teams. Browns hosting the Titans. Titans getting 5.5 on the road. Time to see if this Browns hype is believable. I mean, I personally just think that's a disaster fire waiting to happen. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when there's some tension. Is Baker going to be able to be a leader, calm everybody down, get everyone going in the right direction? Honestly, I would tend to think no. with all that Duke Johnson thing and him speaking out in the media and Mayfield creating tension in the locker room over that, I have no faith that once there's conflict, he's going to be able to be a leader and manage that conflict on the football field. Also, the Chiefs, they just signed Shady McCoy. That should tell you how they feel about Williams. The fact they would sign Shady McCoy should tell you how they feel about Williams and how they could have some questions in the backfield. This Dolphins line is just blooming up with the news that Fitzpatrick's starting, with the Ravens coming to town. Ravens laying 6.5 on the road. I'm not going to lie. I can pretty much already tell you the Dolphins are going to be the team I bet on the most in the NFL. Value is going to be very high on them because everyone's going to overreact to them. My Lions are traveling cross-country. The Lions' defensive line is going to be stacked this year, playing a rookie quarterback, laying 2.5 on the road. But everyone knows the way I do stuff. I hate laying points on the road. At home, a different story. On the road, I never lay points, especially these small point spreads. Never, ever, ever. And, of course, the 4:30 game, the Fox Prime game of the week, Giants and the Cowboys. Is Zeke going to be there or is he not going to be there? Personally, I don't think he's going to be there. I don't think Zeke's going to be there. He's going to miss week 1. If they struggle, he'll be there week 2. But Jerry Jones, he doesn't want to pay that money. And lastly, on the Sunday, Steelers and Patriots. How the Steelers going to look without AB? And is Connor going to be looking the same like he did last year? I mean, he had a huge year last year. So those are kind of the games I'm looking forward to, where my head's at with everyone. I'm not going to divulge too much information because that's going to be unfair to my clients and people that pay for the service. Of course, if you want to be part of the team, DM me. I'll gladly share with you my package details. Like I said tonight, we are on Louisville plus 11 for the first half, which already hit, and we have a plus 23 for the game. Unfortunately, they just had that turnover in the red zone, but we'll see what happens. Thanks for listening. Hit me up if you have any questions, and check me out on Thursday.